Hi, my whisky chums. It's Vic here again on my, 15th straight night. It's sharing my drams with you. I'm having a great time. You can probably notice that. I'm having a great time each night, even though when the whiskies aren't that as up to kind of what I really like. But there's been some great whiskies. Ones that other people would like that maybe I don't. That's a thing about taste and all that, isn't it? So I am broadcasting again, working my way through my really good whiskey company's whiskey selection box. They're called the Malt Teasers. There's 25 drams. I started on the 1st of December. I'm working my way through. I'm emptying my box, look. I'm doing the final 2 rows. I'll be 3/5 of the way through tonight once I get through this one. So I've got a couple of drams tonight. I think I'm just going to try to set them on my own. Though I've got after I finish this one, I've got a tiny wee dram there. Can you see that? Tiny wee dram from Forbes across the turning circle there in our wee cul-de-sac. Forbes' daughter works for Gordon MacPhail. And she got a sample of 45-year-old Ben Romach whiskey from my hometown. Some of the best things come from Forest. Me, Ben Romach, Forest Mechanics Football Club. So, Ahern good comes out of Forest. It is so much better than Elgin. Then I'll let MD tell you otherwise. So, I'm probably going to try that later. My wee 45-year-old Ben Romach. But what have I got tonight? What have I got out of my Malt Teasers kit? It is week 15. And I'm really interested in this one because it's a site where I used to work. I finished my training scheme with Diageo, management training scheme. I need Kevin Innes on to tell me when all my dates and places I went. I think it was to middle of 1995 that I finished my training scheme, or middle of 96, I can't mind. And I went for a 6-month stint to Blair Athol. Blair Athol in Aberfeldy, back when Aberfeldy was in the Diageo stable. I had a great 6 or 7 months there covering for somebody who was away on a project. Used to go down on a Monday, back home on a Friday. Really good time down there. Great bunch of guys. Great couple of distilleries. And I really liked my time at Blair Athol and Aberfeldy. So I'm interested to try this tonight. It's bottled by Provenance, that's Douglas Lane, I think. Blair Athol, and it's a sherry matured whiskey, but it is only 5 years old. Now, friends, if you've been watching right for the start, you'll know that I'm okay with young whiskies as long as it's good. I've showed you this one a few times because it's another one of my old sites. I've got a Dilluin 4-year-old that is a really good whiskey. So I'm not going to judge it on its age. I'm going to judge it on its taste and on its aroma. So I'm hoping it's a good one because it's one of my old sites. Obviously, way, way past my time. But we'll see what it is. I used to like the Blair Athol Flora and Fauna. That was a nice sherry cask whiskey. So got hopes for this. Let's see how it goes. Now, no surprise, but there's not a lot of colour there. I mean, it has only had 5 years, so there's no going to be a lot of colour coming through. But what about the nose? What really distinct toffee that I'm not overly familiar with Blair Athol. Can't really remember that. It's sometimes in young whiskies, I perceive sort of minty toffee, and that my brain associates that with quite a young whiskey, and that's kind of what we're getting here. Sort of minty toffee, tiny little bit of wood. This is not a sherry bomb, so there's not a huge amount of sherry notes on it, not a huge amount of woody notes on it. Wouldn't expect that because it's only a 5-year-old. But not a huge amount going on there. A little bit of vanilla. But it's that, dare I say it, that immature toffiness that I'm really perceiving. Now, it's not unpleasant, but it's not a nose that's shouting, drink me. So, but anyway, I'm going to. So let's hear a taste. Hmm. What can I say about that? It's quite harsh going down. It's is it 46? 46% ABV, but it feels a bit more like that, a bit more than that actually. Going down, it's quite harsh. It's burning a little bit. Not a huge amount of taste there. I would be hard pushed to say that was a sherry cask. Actually, I think I'd be hard pushed to say what type of cask it was because there's not a lot on the palate. Tiny little bit of wood that time, that second sip, but it's still really pronounced with the that sort of toffee notes, creamy, buttery toffee, which is not unpleasant, as I've said. It's a little bit sweet. It's got a little bit of vanilla, but it's got a long way to go, that Dram. I don't often say this, but that, for me, and remember, this is personal opinion. There's going to be lots of people out there who love this kind of Dram. But for me, on my journey through this box, it's not the best, and it's too young. There, I've said it. It's not had long enough in that cask, which is a real shame because I love the site. I normally love my Blair Athol whiskies, but that's just a little bit young for me. Provenance Blair Athol sherry cask matured for 5 years. It's got a bit to go. It's not unpleasant. Absolutely not unpleasant. You can drink that. But just for my palate, my taste, there's just not enough going on there for me to really enjoy that Dram, which is a shame. But never mind. I'll tell you what. I'll get a glass, and I'll have that 45-year-old Benroma just now. Now this is really unfair. I can't compare a 45-year-old Benroma to a 5-year-old Blair Athol. That's just really harsh. And that's not what I'm doing. But let's just have a wee nose and taste this. There's not a lot in there. Forbes really enjoyed that, I think, and nearly finished it. My mate Woody was telling me about it as well. He was bragging that he'd got his little sample from Gordon MacPhail. So I'm sure he'd enjoy it. I know I'm having to get in there, but now that's a sherry cask. Oh yeah, boy. Lots of sherry notes. That's got raisins and coffee. Really musty warehouse smell, but in a pleasant way. Fruity. I can't smell any peat on that, but I might taste it. You know, Benroma, normally peated, traditional Speyside. So let's have a taste. I'm going to have to get this in a one-er because there's not a lot there. But here goes. Oh, that is spicy, sherry-ish. Tiny, tiny bit of smoke on the finish. Just make sure I get every drop out of that one. It's fruity. Yeah, and that little bit of smoke at the end there. That is very nice. Very pleasant. So, there we go. A dram and a wee dram. So tonight, from my Maltesers kit, I had the Provenance Blair Athol Sherry Matured 5-year-old. And what are we going to have tomorrow? Let's have a look. So that was 15. Number 16. The guys at Really Good Whisky Company will be laughing. We're away to America tomorrow night. Now, they'll tell you, American whiskey is not my favourite. I have a couple. What have I got? I've got a Four Roses and another one which I can't remember. But I'm not a huge fan of American whiskey. But we'll see how it goes. So this is Yellow Rose Premium. So I'll look forward to that tomorrow night. So hopefully see you tomorrow. I'm going to get off because when Forbes brought me over my wee Ben Romach, he told me that I'm really interrupting all his viewing at night. And that can I try and not come on live when Coronation Street's on. So I think this Coronation Street started 7:30 or something like that. So maybe I've just overrun a wee bit. But I'm going to finish. And I will see you tomorrow night, folks. Have a really good day tomorrow. Enjoy your dram responsibly if you're having one tonight. And we'll be looking at some American whiskey tomorrow night. So thanks for joining me. Keep the comments coming. Keep the feedback coming. I really love reading all your stuff. And I will see you again tomorrow. See you then. Bye, folks.